Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Caitlin, if you didn't know. Today we are doing, what are we doing? We are doing September wrap up and October TBR. I haven't decided how I want to do my October TBR because I haven't been that successful with my TBRs the past few months. This month I read 3 of the 6 from last month's TBR, so if you want to see what's on there, go watch my other videos. I'm going to discuss the ones that I did read, obviously, then we'll get to the TBR. So, let's go. Alrighty, so I read 10 books this month. I have 9 of them physically. Kind of similar vibes throughout the entire month, minus the first book I read. So let's just hop right into it. Alrighty, I do have to say, the first book that I read in September was disappointing. I gave it a 2.5, and the 0.5 of that is because I really liked the side character. So if he wasn't there, it would have been a 2-star. It is Tough Guy by Rachel Reed. Unfortunately, just didn't like either character. Fabian was just like never that interesting to me. Fabian I just didn't really find that likable either. He just annoyed me. I got to a point where he was just so annoying I couldn't read what he was saying anymore. The last 30% of this book I literally skimmed. Because I'm too stubborn to DNF, so I skimmed it. And I still know what happened. But yeah, Fabian just wasn't a big fan of that character. And then Ryan Price, he was fine. I didn't love him. He just didn't really stand out to me that much. There was like nice representation with anxiety and mental health and addiction, which was really nice to see. But like, other than that, Wyatt is a side character. He was my favorite character throughout the whole thing. Love that guy. He's the whole reason why I gave it the 0.5 of the 2.5. And also there were little sneak peeks of Ilya and Shane from Heated Rivalry, which is the second book of this series. Love this book. I read this in September. Nope, I read this in August. But yeah, for September I was going to continue the series because Heated Rivalry was so good, and then Tough Guy was just so disappointing and I was so upset about it that I just didn't move on with the series for the time being. I'll come back to it, of course, because I need to get to the long game, which is the second book to Heated Rivalry. But I just need to take a break. Like, Tough Guy just like annoyed me so bad. So unfortunately, the beginning of September was not good, but then it got better throughout the rest. So then the next book I read, finally continuing the series, I finished the series as well, so we'll talk about all the books. And it's also a book on my 2025 TBR, Garnet Flats by Devney Perry. I rated this a 3.75. I did enjoy this one. I know a lot of people don't like Foster Madden. He wasn't bad. I agree Talia shouldn't have forgiven him as quickly, and I can see where he's coming from as well. This might have been my least favorite of the whole series. I can't confirm or deny. It did scare me because Goodreads, like the first 3 reviews on Goodreads are all rated 1 stars, so that's why it took me so long to read this, was because why would Goodreads show 3 1-star reviews for a book? Which was weird, but I did enjoy it. I have mixed feelings between the communication between these two because they had a few good conversations. He told her why he ended up marrying her best friend, but there were just a few more I think they should have had before they got back together. Like, something was just like missing, especially with Talia still having doubts once they did get together. I feel like they needed that conversation of her expressing her doubts and her feelings, and they just didn't really have that conversation. But other than that, I did have fun with this. Once again, rated this a 3.75. The next book I read, we're going in reading order instead of the series. Anyways, the next book I read was a 5-star read. You guessed it, another Elsie Silver 5-star. Are we surprised? No, we aren't. I love this book. Bash. But you know who I love better? Gwen. I love Gwen. Badass. I love her. When she went off on Bash, I was like, yes, girl, tell him how it is. And the way that these two understand each other, it's like It warms my heart. They take the time to learn each other's cues, which is so like minimal, and I'm like, I giggled, I cried at everything about this. Also, Clyde. I love Clyde and his story. I'm so glad we finally got to know a little bit more about Clyde, because throughout the whole Rose Hill series, I was like, what is up with Clyde? I love him. We did actually, I don't know if everyone knows this, but Elsie Silver has like bonus scenes on her website, and the bonus scene is of Clyde. That bonus scene made me tear up. Like, made me cry. It was just like, and I can't believe this series is over. I love the series. I love Elsie Silver. I'll write anything. Why do I keep saying that? I'll read anything she writes. And if you haven't read this yet, but have read Chestnut Spring series, spoiler alert, the cameo in this, my man Beau finally getting his little shining star moment after his book. His book is so underappreciated, and I love that he got a little time elsewhere, because I heard there was going to be a cameo from Chestnut Springs. First, I wasn't expecting it to be Beau, but I wasn't sure who it was going to be, and I'm so happy it was Beau. I was just giggling the whole time he was there. But yeah, I'm so sad that we're ending Rose Hill series, but I'm so excited for Emerald Lake series. Like, Theo's sister is definitely going to be a female main character of it. And then at the end, isn't there, doesn't she says who is in the next series. It's, he's the bull rider. What's his name? Emmett? I'm gonna go with Emmett. I'm so excited to learn more about Emmett. And I'm wondering if Theo's sister is going to be the female main character for that book, or if she's going to be someone else. But that'll be interesting to see. So yeah, that was Wild Card, Elsie Silver. Now going back to the eating series, Jasper Vale by Daphne Perry. I rated this 4 stars. I've heard so many good things about this. I'm pretty sure a lot of people say this is their favorite. I don't think it was my favorite of the whole series, but I really did enjoy it, and it didn't disappoint. There were a few things that happened throughout it that I didn't necessarily like too much, but they were just easy to get over, that it didn't really affect my rating at all. And then once Jasper started opening up to Eloise, the communication was just there, was spot on. So I'm so glad that it got better, because communication was kind of hard for them in the beginning. I'm so happy they got through it and we got to see it all. Their communication, it just made me so happy. I'm big on communication, especially like in real life and in romance books, and if the communication's not there, I'm like, what's the point of this relationship? So once they finally got through it, it was great. The one thing that I was a bit confused about, so let me know if I'm wrong about this. So obviously fake marriage of convenience, Vegas wedding, you know. Eloise gives Jasper a ring, and he says the ring is practically identical to the one that was given to him in his last marriage. And then it was just like never brought up again. So I don't know why that was like included. It could be like the whole covering up the ugly horse thing that they talked about in this a few times. But it was just weird that they brought it up, and then it was just like the chapel was mentioned, but like not the ring. So I don't know if I missed it. Let me know if I did. But yeah, other than that, love this book, 4 stars. Okay, the next one, Crimson River. This one I rated a 3.75. I wish it was a 4 because I wasn't that big on the romance of it. The mystery part, I ate the fuck up. It was so good. I was so intrigued. I needed to know everything about the mystery aspect. I think what really threw me off about the romance is that it started off as like a no strings attached, which is not what I was hoping for. I think it feels like not like forbidden, but like somewhere in that aspect of like, I don't know, like he's the detective trying to find out the case, like that could be an interference. Them just kind of like, I don't know, like the romance didn't really stick with me throughout this. And I was reading the chapters of like the romance and I was like, eh. But the mystery, and it wasn't until the mystery and like we got to know everything about like the mystery side of the book that I really started to like feel better about the romance. However, when Vance left, that was so sad. And then when he came back and he was like, where's my chair, Blue? I was like, I cried. That was so cute. But yeah, I love the mystery aspect of this. If you're looking for a great mystery within the series, this one will probably be one of the better mystery ones. It's been a minute since I read Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill, so I know there were mystery aspects of that. There kind of is mystery throughout all of them. This one was probably at top for the mystery side of it. I'd have to refresh on Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill for sure rating, because it's been a minute since I read the whole series, so I'm also not going to rate the whole series because I can't remember Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill that well. I just know who the main characters are and the basics of what happened. But yeah, anyways, Crimson River, 3.75. Okay, so for the next book, I think, if you know the series, you know which book it is, obviously, because it's part of the Eden series. But I think this is my favorite of the whole series. As I said before, I'd have to reread Juniper Hill and Indigo Ridge to know for sure, since it's been like a year since I've read it. But Sable Peak, I rated this a 4.5. I love Sable Peak. Mateo. I love Mateo. I literally finished this in 24 hours. Like, I started it at like 2 o'clock and then I finished it around 2 o'clock the following day. Like, I literally read this in 24 hours. I love this one. And Vera, I'm so glad she is a female main character for this. I'm glad she got her own book, especially everything that happened in Crimson River and seeing how she adjusted to life and dealing with all of the changes and not seeing her dad and dealing with the grief of her sisters. I really loved seeing all of that, and then also seeing Mateo be there for her throughout it. Their relationship, I think, blossomed beautifully. I'm not 100% believing that, like, I wish there was Mateo, like a little bit more of Mateo's POV before she kissed him, because he said afterwards he was like I wanted like her, but like he never, like, he didn't think it was possible, so he didn't like ever think too much about it. But I wish there was like a little bit more like I have a crush on her before the kiss happened. But other than that, I loved every single aspect of the romance part. And I also wish we would have gotten a little bit more about him bringing Allie back to Quincy, because a trope of this book is single dad, and I feel like we didn't get to know too much about him when he first brought Allie home, because at the end of Crimson River he says he has a daughter. And I wish we would have seen a little bit more of that in between time. But I love Allie. What a little cutie. And I honestly wish this book was longer. It's a good sized book, but I wish it was longer. I wanted more of these two. And oh my god, I bawled during this book. Vera's panic attack, that literally made me bawl. And then how Mateo was just like there for her throughout it all. Oh, I can't even express it good. I'm not expressing it good at all. I love how at the end everybody was like rounded up and you got to see everybody together like one last time before the series ended. And I love this series. And honestly, I feel like it doesn't get enough love on BookTube, Book Talk. People like talk about it, but not really. I think it just needs to be read more and talked about more. So if you haven't read the Eden series yet, what are you waiting for? Go pick it up. I fear I finally understand the hype of ACOTAR. That's right. I finally, after having the series for so long, if you can hear my niece, I'm sorry, she's a yapper, finally decided to read ACOTAR. And I fear I understand the hype. Let's start with A Court of Thorns and Roses. I gave this 4 stars. And I fear I immediately understood the hype. I was like, oh. I mean, it's popular for a reason, but you never fully understand it until you read it. I feel like I didn't get the full experience though, because I knew Feyre ends up with Rhysand, because Rhysand's like a top book talk boyfriend. So I knew she didn't end up with Tamlin, and I knew he did something bad. But I was reading this and I was like, what did he do? And then that's when you get to A Court of Mist and Fury, which is when you find out what Tamlin did. And yeah, he deserves everything that he's going through now. Screw you, Tamlin. 4 stars. Read this series in general if you haven't already. But yeah, on to Court and Mist and Fury. I love these two. Like, I couldn't put this down. And chapter 54, I reread chapter 54 today because I was like, I need to read it again. I don't know what to say, because I went into this only knowing Feyre, Rhysand, Tamlin. And honestly, I'm glad I went into this not knowing much. But yeah, this is for sure 5 stars. I just don't know what else to say about it without spoiling. So we're gonna move on to Wings and Ruin, which I also rated 5 stars. My review on Goodreads is literally, OMG, what a roller coaster. Because this was, so much happened. I mean, as it should, because if a book's gonna be 699 pages, a lot better happened within it. And a lot did. I was very upset after finishing Court of Mist and Fury to see where Feyre ends up in the beginning of the book. But I'm glad it didn't last too long. That's all I'm gonna say. 5 stars. Last book I read in the month of September was Court of Frost and Starlight. I rated this a 3.5. It was a fun read. Not too much happened. It was a good bridge between Wings and Ruin and the rest of the book, I do have to say. I loved the different POVs. What throws me off, and what I know what throws off a lot of people, is the change of POV. Like Rhysand and Feyre are first person. Cassian and all the others are third. Why? That's what I want to know. Why is the POV changed? I've never seen that in a series before, and I just want to know why. So if anyone knows why, let me know, because that threw me off. But yeah, fun, cute little transition into Silver Flames, which I did read, but you're not going to get my review of that, because that'll be for my October wrap-up. As I said, quick, easy little transition. I enjoyed it. Nothing to write home about. 3.5. Alrighty, now that I've yapped about the 10 books that I read, let's move on to the October TBR. Okay, so I have a new TBR jar. Upgrade. We're gonna go through it, try to pick from here. I'm in a weird mood right now because I read the entirety of ACOTAR, so I feel like I'm still like, I don't want to say recovering, but I'm still like, nothing has really popped out at me, so like, we'll see what I even choose. There's one book in here for sure I'm hoping can be added to this. If it's not by the 6th book, then I'm just gonna choose that instead of a prompt. So let's start. The first prompt is Friends to Lovers. If I'm not mistaken, Homebound is Friends to Lovers, but also like, I don't want to say second chance, like they were close when they were younger. Yeah, they were friends. So does this count? That's people watching. I don't think this is Friends to Lovers. I think we're gonna go with this. I really wanted to read it last month, but I got really hooked in the ACOTAR, so I never got to this. So we're gonna go with Homebound. It says thriller. You know what I'm gonna do? Well, this is more of a mystery, but isn't it also thriller? On Goodreads, this is listed under a mystery and a thriller. So we're gonna go with this because I'm gonna buddy read this with Maddie. I'm visiting her towards the end of October. I'm so excited. And we're gonna read this together. Since it takes place on Halloween, we're gonna read it around there because that's when I'm going by her. So, okay. I just got super excited again. You can't see it, but it says Dealer's Choice. Dealer's Choice, we're gonna go with Bride because Mate comes out on the 7th, which is this Tuesday. I think when I post this, it'll be release day for Mate. So hopefully I can read Bride before then. Okay, I'm flying through picking these. I was not expecting this. It says Dark Romance. Let's see, I have 2 dark romances on my fall TBR. There's Leave Me Behind and then In the Dark by Chelsea Curto, which comes out October 15th. She changed the date from the last time I talked about it. It was supposed to release the 8th, but she pushed it to the 15th. So In the Dark, In the Dark is gonna be our next choice. Okay, we have 4 books total. Pretend In the Dark is laying there. We don't have it yet, but we will. Okay, so I recently added new prompts into this. Now I have 4 bookshelves, but I have 3 big ones. And a prompt I have is choose a book from bookshelf 1, bookshelf 2, bookshelf 3. It's in the order that I've got them in the room. So behind me is bookshelf 1, bookshelf 2 is my fantasy shelf, and bookshelf 3 is my quote-unquote favorite shelf. And this says bookshelf 1. Let's see what's behind us. Some of these books came from bookshelf 1 and will be going there after, so that's also an idea. Love Arranged will be on this shelf, King of Envy as well, so will Pumpkin Spice Cafe. Leave Me Behind will probably go in here too. Mainly the romances will be put on this shelf. So let me look at this shelf as well. I think I'm gonna go with Gothicana. It's currently on bookshelf 1 because, I don't know, none of these are really speaking to me at the moment because I regret not putting it on my full TBR. And I already had so many. I have like 36 books on here. I'm gonna do Gothicana. Okay, so Bride was the book that I was hoping I could get from a prompt. And if I didn't have it already, I would have picked it just now. But since we got it, we're gonna pick our 6th and final book. It says LGBTQIA+. There's 2 on here. So our 2 options are Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil and Song of Achilles. This like screams fall, obviously. I feel like this is a good October, but I think I'm gonna wait until November possibly to read this. Song of Achilles is like one of the first books that's ever been on my TBR. I'm too scared to read it because people cry, and I'm scared to cry. I'm not scared to cry. I just know it's gonna ruin me, and I'm scared of that. But if you're, it is time. And also, this is Sapphic Vampires, and we already have a vampire in Bride, so we're gonna do some Greek gods instead. Okay, so to go through the books one more time for my October TBR. First prompt was Friends to Lovers, and I chose Homebound by Meredith Trapp. The next prompt was Thriller, and we chose a mystery thriller, Not Quite Dead Yet. And then next was Dealer's Choice, and I chose Bride by Allie Hazelwood. This will only be my 2nd Allie Hazelwood book ever. I need to like dedicate a month just to reading Allie Hazelwood. That would be a fun idea. Would you guys enjoy seeing a video like that? Just reading all of Allie Hazelwood? Because I want to read Bride because May comes out. Anyways, next we have Dark Romance, and I chose In the Dark by Chelsea Curto. It is not out yet. It comes out October 15th, so I don't have it physically just yet. And then the 5th book is something from bookshelf 1, which is this bookshelf behind me, and I chose Gothicana by Runix. I've read Enigma by her, and I really enjoyed that, and I'm excited about this one. Student Professor. And then the last book is LGBTQIA+. We're gonna try to get to Song of Achilles. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be brave. We're gonna be strong. We're gonna get through it. We're gonna cry our eyeballs out, but that's okay. We're gonna get through it. Yes, these are the books for my October TBR. I'm very excited about this now. Going into this video, I wasn't feeling too inspired to make a TBR. I'm in a weird, I don't want to say I'm in a slump, but I'm in like a weird in-between after finishing Actar. So I was a little nervous, but now that I've picked these, I'm very excited. I'm definitely gonna start one of these now because I finished Silver Flames yesterday. So I need to start a new book today. So I'll pick one of these. I'm very excited. Let me know what you're reading this month. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you think of them. Which one of these is your favorite? Thank you for watching. Love you, beautiful people. Hope you have a great... I hope you're great. Love you guys. I hope you have a great rest of your day. And happy... Oh my god, why can't I keep holding these books? Happy reading. Bye.